Hello everyone! Welcome back to Learn English with Fatima. Today's topic is count and non-count nouns. I'm going to talk about what they are and how they're different. I'm also going to teach you the different rules we use for each type of noun. I'm also going to talk about spelling rules for plural count nouns and common irregular nouns. I'll discuss paired nouns and what they are, and then finally I'll talk about common mistakes learners make with non-count nouns. Let's get started. So there are two types of nouns, count and non-count. To put it in the most simple way, count nouns are nouns that can be counted, and non-count nouns are nouns that can't be counted. Let's learn in more detail what that means. For count nouns, we can use a number to talk about how many there are. We can use a or an, our indefinite article, which is the same as saying there is one of something, or we can use any other type of number, 6, 30, 100, and so on. For non-count nouns, we can't use numbers because they can't be counted. This doesn't mean that there can't be more than one of a non-count noun, but if we want to talk about a non-count noun that is plural, we use a word like some. I will discuss different types of words we can use for plural non-count nouns in a separate lesson about quantifiers. Just know for this lesson that non-count nouns don't use a number to indicate how many there are. For plural non-count nouns, the noun doesn't change. But for count nouns, if you have more than one, we have to use the plural form by adding s, es, or ies. Let's quickly go over the rules for regular plural count noun spelling. So for most nouns, we just add an s, such as dogs, cats, or trees. For nouns that end in a vowel and a y, we also just add an s, journeys, keys, or boys. But for nouns that end in a consonant and then a y, we change the ending to ies, skies, ladies, libraries. For nouns that end in an sh, a ch, an ss, an x, or a z, we add an ending of es, such as bushes, boxes, buzzes. For nouns that end in a consonant plus an o, we add an es, tomatoes, potatoes, heroes. Some plural count nouns change forms in a different way. Here are some common words. Child becomes children when there's more than one. Man becomes men. Woman becomes women. Mouse becomes mice. Foot becomes feet. Person becomes people. Some count nouns have the same form if they are singular or plural. So we look at the verb to tell how many we are talking about. Here are some examples of common words that don't change forms in the plural. Moose, sheep, shrimp, deer. So to tell how many there are, we would look at the sentence verb. For example, the sentence, there are deer in my backyard, because we use the verb are instead of is, we know that there is more than one deer in my backyard. If I said the sentence, the deer is on the lawn, then I would know we're just talking about one deer because we use the form is instead of are. and is singular. Let's talk more about types of non-count nouns. Most non-count nouns fall into a few categories. Food and drink, such as rice, sugar, flour, salt, meat, cheese, milk. Things without a clearly defined shape, for example, air, oxygen, rain, snow, smoke, and so on. School subjects or fields of study, such as history, physics, math, law, biology. When we're talking about the whole of a group, it's a non-count noun, such as furniture, luggage, staff. Activities are usually non-count nouns, such as baseball, music, football, hockey, bowling. When we use materials, they are typically non-count nouns, such as wood, glass, plastic, gold. When we're talking about abstract ideas, happiness, joy, luck, justice, love, freedom, truth, sadness, health. One exception for non-count nouns, and this is usually for the very small non-count nouns or non-count nouns that are material, is that we can count them if they are grouped in a unit. For example, water is a non-count noun, but if I said a glass of water, then I am counting the glasses of water I have. And so it becomes a count noun. So I could say a cup of coffee, a chemistry class, a soccer game. This is the one exception when we can count non-count nouns, when they're in a unit. Another reason we want to know if a noun is a count noun or a non-count noun is that the verb matching is different. For count nouns, if they are singular or plural, we make the verb match. For example, the dog runs away from the loud noise is for a singular dog, and the dogs run away from the loud noise is for a plural of dogs. Notice that the verb run changes to match. So here's where it gets tricky. For non-count nouns, we always use singular verbs. For example, there is furniture for sale at the store. The milk spills on the floor. Notice that is in the first sentence and spills in the second sentence are both singular verbs. One other type of noun I'll mention are paired nouns, and I mention these because they are also a little tricky. Paired nouns are count nouns, but they have two parts to them, so they always need a plural verb, even if you have one of them. So let's look at examples of what a paired noun are. Paired nouns include hand tools with two parts, such as scissors, tongs, or tweezers. Clothing for legs or feet is usually a paired noun, such as pants, shorts, shoes, jeans, etc. Also, accessories for eyes or ears that have two parts are usually paired nouns, like glasses, headphones, or goggles. So we never use an indefinite article, a or an, with paired nouns because they aren't singular. And they often come with the word pair, such as, "Can you find me a pair of shoes to wear?" And they always use a plural verb. Your glasses are very dirty. Notice we don't say your glasses is very dirty, even though we're talking about one pair of glasses. Again, pair of glasses. So we wouldn't say a glasses, we would say a pair of glasses. Okay, let's go over some common mistakes that are made with count and non-count nouns. The first mistake is making a non-count noun plural. For example, I like listening to different musics. This is incorrect. Even though we're talking about more than one type of music, we would say, I like listening to different music. Another example is, can you find informations about the event? Even though we're looking for more than one piece of information, we would say, can you find information about the event? Never make a non-count noun plural. Another common mistake is using a or an with a non-count noun. Remember, even though we always use the singular form of a verb with a non-count noun, we never consider a non-count noun as one thing. So, for example, we couldn't say, I need a wood for my project, or we need an oxygen to breathe. We would leave out the indefinite article. I need wood for my project. We need oxygen to breathe. Another common mistake is incorrect verb agreement for non-count nouns. For example, having knowledge are important to make you smart, or the rice are in the cabinet. Remember, we always use a singular verb for non-count nouns. So we would say, having knowledge is important. The rice is in the cabinet. Once you discover the rules of count and non-count nouns, they are pretty simple. But just remember, non-count nouns are never counted unless they are in a unit, and we always use singular verbs for them. But we can never use a or an. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos about English learning found on my YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.